Good morning, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to come back and to address this great group. You do wonderful things here, bringing everyone together for this seminar about turf research and about what the foundation's involved in. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the foundation if you don't already know. The foundation is made up of 7 chapters of the GCSAA, Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. We're basically all of states in New England, all of the golf course superintendent associations in New England are associated with the foundation. That means that they are part of our board of directors. We also have 2 affiliated groups, the New England Sports Turf Managers Association as well as the Massachusetts Association of Lawn Care Professionals. Those all come together as our board of directors, and we meet about every other month to basically keep the direction of what we're doing intact, and also to evaluate and look at the research that we're involved in. We just had our 17th anniversary show, which was back just a couple of weeks ago in Providence, Rhode Island, March 3rd through the 6th. It was attended by over 1,700 paid attendees, and over 330 booths of exhibit space was also bought there. This is a picture of our show floor there. It takes basically all of the convention center in Providence, Rhode Island, and all of the major distributors for golf courses and turf management are there each year. This is our moneymaker. This is what this basically provides most of the funds that that we can provide for turf research. But I think the biggest investment we have is that we emphasize the education program at our show. It's a very important aspect of it. It really is what we believe that draws people to the show, and it's important that in this industry that we have continuing education and things and seminars such as this one here today. But for turf research, if you don't know this, turf research actually began in the United States in Rhode Island at the University of Rhode Island officially in the 1800s, and they've been doing turf research there for many years since. That's the good news about turf research there at the university. This is the research facility there and how it looked not too long ago. And this is an aerial view of it as it looks today. Unfortunately, you can see that a lot of the area there doesn't look too healthy. And the reason for that is if you look at the top of the photo, you can see a structure there. That's the university wells. I think those are 15,000 gallon a minute wells. And they're pumping all of the university water up from under the turf research facility. So the state of Rhode Island has basically said, in the meantime, you cannot spray any pesticides within 400 feet of this well. In the future, it's going to be a 800-foot arc that you won't be able to spray pesticides. So the fate of the Rhode Island Turfgrass Research Facility right now is hanging, and we're not exactly sure what's going to happen down the road. We have great professors there, great people on the staff there, and we just, in some ways, we think that maybe practical research may not be done on the university grounds for much longer. But we're hoping that may change. We just don't know. And they've done some great research for velvet bentgrass research back in the early 2000. Very important research if you're managing velvet bentgrass on how to manage and how to maintain it. Also, a lot of trials have been done there over the years. NTEP trials, which is the National Turfgrass Evaluation Program. That program is a little bit has been struggling lately for funding. And URI, I think, is just about done with all of the research as far as the NTEP goes. Also, some entomology research, and we have a great entomologist there, is Dr. Steve Alm, and also Dr. Nathaniel Mikowski, who is a pathologist. But again, the situation there isn't the greatest. Now, this is the UMass research facility up in South Deerfield. From looking down from Sugarloaf Mountain, you can see the Connecticut River in the background. You can see all of the different plots there, and this is a little bit of an older photo, and you can see this building here on the left, which is a relatively new building that we had some involvement in building. And when I say we, I'm talking about the superintendents in New England, because the foundation, again, if you're a member of the associations in New England, then you basically own what we're doing. And we funded $175,000 towards that building's being built. And it's a great building. But it took practically an act of Congress and an act of God in order to get it in. And this was the scene there just after they had completed the construction, and I think that verified that it was quite a struggle. But it finally got in, and it has been a great asset to them. Some of the research done there, this is a neat thing that Dr. Michelle DaCosta has built there. It's a rain-out structure. You can see the rail that everybody's sitting on, and you can see that greenhouse kind of propped up over there. And what happens if rain is threatening, or if it starts to rain? Oops, did I miss it? Oop, I'm going the wrong way. Well, anyway, it rolls out and it covers the turf, and which is a great thing, because that way she can regulate just about every drop of water that will land in that area, and she can look at the turf that's there and see what kind of drought tolerance it has by being able to regulate and keep all moisture off of it. This was a study that was also done at UMass on pesticide exposure, something I think all golfers would probably have thought about. At one time, we did not know exactly what kind of exposure golfers were exposed to. And so Dr. John Clark at the university put together and had these suits. I don't know if they were made for this exactly, but these suits, these guys would go over to the research facility and simulate a round of golf while they were doing typical maintenance practices on a golf course. And then they would take these suits in and analyze them for residues from pesticides. And what they found out was that the residues were actually much, much lower than they expected to find. So this was a very positive thing for the golf industry to find out. They do a lot of other research, such as snow mold research there as well. And the university has been a great asset, certainly for the golf course superintendent and turfgrass managers in New England. This is the UConn facility. Now, that building doesn't look too good, but if you go right behind it, you'll see this building. Now, the university said that we want to help the turfgrass program at UConn. What can we do? And one of the things they said is build us a building. So the university went out and they built the building real quick. Now, the UMass building costs about $400 per square foot to build, which is a pretty high cost for a building. They built this building for about a third that, but it was certainly the university decided to go ahead and do it. This is mostly cold storage, but there is a classroom in there as well. So we see some good things happening at UConn. They do a lot of research for golf courses, certainly. This is some for golf course fairways on bent grass with top dressing study that they've done. This is more on trials for checking products to see if they actually affect the grass the way they're saying they will, and if they can do what the product label is telling us that they are supposed to be doing. So they do a lot there. And what I'd just like to also share with you that upcoming is the UConn Field Day. On July the 15th, UConn will be holding a field day. Now, the University of Rhode Island just started doing these and had, I think, 75 or 76 field days in a row. And they were keeping things going, but they haven't done one in several years. UConn and UMass have been deciding to do them lately, and more so. And what they've now, I guess, decided that they're going to alternate years. So this year will be UConn's turn, and this is a great opportunity for superintendents to go down to the university and to walk with the researchers and the professors there, and to see the many projects that they're involved in. And you'd be pretty impressed if you had the opportunity to do that. So again, July 15th, put that on your calendar. It might certainly be something that if you have time to stop down there and see. In 2014, the foundation is funding $145,000 worth of research this year. Something that we're pretty proud about, and as mentioned, we should be going actually over the $2 million mark. This is just a dream that we had when we first started the foundation back in 1998. But it took off pretty quickly, and because of the economy, it has slowed down somewhat. But still, it's an important asset to the turf industry here in New England. As you know, golf courses can be pretty complicated. I think about all of the management it takes to maintain a little par 3 like this down in Connecticut that I played one time with all the different ornamentals and the different heights of cut and the little tiny fairway that they have going up there and the sand trap and all. But we also know that it doesn't, our turf does not actually have to be perfect to still provide good golf. Oop, we have a blank screen. There we go. I'd like to introduce to some of you what a new program that we've started. It's called TUP New England. And this is a research initiative that we've begun. Now again, the foundation is doing well financially, but we're still receiving way more research projects than we can afford to fund. In this year alone, we received over $200,000 in requests from just the New England states. And that's all we do, is we fund turfgrass research in New England, because we believe that research really needs to be local. And by funding it in New England, it's most effective for the New England superintendents. So we began to look for other ways we could increase funding. And this is one program that we found that others were doing down in the Carolinas. I mentioned this last year. And it's basically this. If we ask the golf courses to donate a round of golf for 4 with carts, we advertise those donations, and then we go ahead and online auction those off. It's simple, it's easy. We think that it's a way that all of the golf courses in New England can get involved in this. And by doing that, we take the proceeds from those funds and we apply them to turf research here in New England, and it should come back to benefit you as a golf course. Our online auction will be April 14th through the 21st. I don't know why it's doing that. This is an advertisement that was in New England Golf Monthly last year. That's out last year's advertisement. We'll have some things coming out this week or the week after when the next edition comes out. Again, we think that golf has a bright future, but we think that turf research will play an important part of that in the future of golf here, especially in New England. Again, it's not too late for golf courses to sign up for this. We're contacting a lot of them as I speak about making this donation. In 2012, we were able to make $13,000 in research funding. Then we added a little bit more to that the second year to $16,000. We had 99 rounds of golf that were actually donated. This year, we're not sure where we're going to be, but we're hoping that it will be even more than we had the previous 2. So again, we'd like to thank the Mass Golf Association, the Rhode Island Golf Association, all the golf associations in New England. We've proposed this to them. They support this, the USGA. And we think that all of the golf community really looks at this and says, this is an easy way to do some funding for turf research, and this is such an important cause. That's all I have. I just wanted to again introduce the TUP New England. Again, thank you for making our turf and your golf better. Thank you.